Hey, how you doing? Daniel Ruiz Tyson, the Writer's Life Friday morning, just back from a morning run. You might think I'm looking a bit cross-eyed. It's just I still haven't worked out which direction I'm meant to be looking into when I'm making these videos. Not a great one for the technology. Just back from the morning run, still having trouble removing the left running shoe, which incurred significant dog-related damage last week in the park. I think it was Wednesday last week on my run. Still not wet. Still not had the kind of rain that I need to really clean that trainer properly. So the trainer removal in the communal hallway is still ongoing. Removed it today, perched my left socked foot on top of my right trainer. So I was kind of doing like the Karate Kid crane, from the original Karate Kid 1. And then I got into the communal hallway, bagged the left shoe up again. So that's the situation for now with the shoe. Kept the socked foot on top of my trainer. I didn't want the sock touching the communal hallway carpet either. You can see the ironing board in the background, doesn't get used often, along with stripping a bed and changing a duvet cover. It is my least favourite chore. I did strip the bed this morning, changed the duvet cover, triggered my swearing. It always does. The ironing board, as I say, doesn't get used much, but it ought to be really. This is a bad sign that I'm wearing this top for running. This is a new top. I'm normally running in my 2010, 2011 Primark era t-shirts. This top I shouldn't be jogging in, for another 7 or 8 years, 2026, 2027, that's when I should be running in this, but I just haven't got round to, doing enough washing and then ironing the top. So I just, this needs a wash, so I just stuck it on. Need to find some summer socks for the day. My summer socks, the stocks are depleted this year. I think summer socks, obviously, they don't last that long, do they? You get a couple of summers out of summer socks, you're doing well. I do need to sort out this tripod business. This arm's aching. So winter socks, I've got a fantastic stock of winter socks. It's like the AC Milan squad of the early 90s. All the world's top players recruited. Many left to rot in the reserves. Their value dropping. But summer socks, I've just not put any time into rebuilding that stock, so I need to sort that out. Went into the park for the run, switching hands again, hopefully no tremor. Went for a run. A few dogs that I encountered on the second or third laps just pulled the shoulders back and try to run past them, ignoring them, a bit like walking through South London with all the gangs. Yeah, you just got to do it. If I need to do the run, if I need to complete that lap, it's just something I'm going to have to deal with. Running in odd socks, London's most unfashionable jogger. Employed some mental exercises, visual exercises to try and get through the run. Again, I wasn't really enjoying it, but I was focusing this morning on Jeremy Beadle and his shows. Game for a Laugh. Beadle's about when he was around, growing up as a kid. Obviously you find that funny. I don't think I'd find it funny now, but I always felt, and I feel to this day, the thing that let that show down, if I'd been a producer, I would have been on Jeremy Beadle's case, was the beard. He ought to have shaved the beard, because often he would appear at the end of a prank as a traffic warden, for instance, with a massive beard, the kind of hipster beard that would have worked now, because so many guys have these big beards, and there are police officers now with massive beards. It's not an uncommon look, but in those days, no one really had big beards like that. So he'd cover his own beard with a ridiculously huge fake beard, and it was just a giveaway. And I think it let the show down. If he'd been clean shaven, I think he would have been able to pull off better pranks. And I'm surprised that he didn't come under pressure to lose the beard, because he didn't really need to have the beard. It didn't really add anything, did it? It was a kind of half-committed beard, sort of trimmed on the sides of the cheeks, sideburn connecting to the goatee. I don't think it did much for him. So that's what I was thinking about. As I say, quite a few dogs, second and third laps were particularly tricky, but I just kept going. And I was recalling that, some years ago, around the start of the decade, I had a spell living in Merton, and, Merton's the kind of back of beyond. And it was always a long walk to the station in the winter mornings to Malden Station. I'd cut through a small park and I'd often see dog walkers. This would be about 6:15 in the morning. And I'd be thinking, no wonder these people often find, dead bodies. You watch true crime shows, reconstructions. How often is it a dog owner that's finding a body? And I just think, why put yourself through that? That would be traumatic. You're going to be having flashbacks for the rest of your life. You've got to make sure that the police drop you from their list of potential suspects at some point. Are you going to feel pressure to stay involved with the investigation, in terms of, getting regular updates, would the police find you an absolute pain if you're ringing up every week? Oh, I'm the guy that found blah, blah, blah with Rover. I don't know if people still call their dogs Rover or Patch. Any news? Maybe the police start thinking, why is this guy, what's this guy's angle? Is he involved in this? Or might they be thinking, why does this guy just not move on? Nothing to do with him. He found the body, he reported it, that's it, he's done his bit, he needs to go. Might the family of the deceased want to speak to you? Might you then build up enough of a relationship that you feel under pressure to, put in an appearance at the funeral? Where was the deceased from? How much travel would be involved if you were to go to the funeral? How much is it going to cost you? All these things, these are things that need to be considered. And it's one of the reasons why I probably would never get a dog. Although I can understand why people have dogs. The cat thing I'm less sure about, but dogs, the companionship is obvious. Maybe 30, 40 years from now, if I'm still knocking around, maybe 10 years off from last wearing this particular top, I'll be thinking maybe it's time to get a dog. Hopefully I'll be in sheltered accommodation by then. I don't know what the rules are as far as dogs are concerned. When you're in that kind of housing. But a lot to ponder. The last run of the week is done now. I'm going to get on with my day, feeling a bit jaded, long week, lots of family stuff to deal with, and I think physically I feel that more than the run this morning. Plenty of coffee inside me now, but I will be adding to that. Please click the subscribe button. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share it. Let's get these numbers up. DanielRuizTyson.com for over 500 radio shows and podcasts going back a decade. Enjoy your day.